And everything has changed. No longer do nurses have enough time sometimes to give long, leisurely, complete bed baths. On busy days, sometimes we barely have time to give baths at all. On tough days, sometimes we go home at the end of our shift with achy feet and achy hearts, feeling like the care we gave was the best we could do, but it wasn't enough that day. So no wonder there's the nursing shortage. We also have a nursing shortage because we can't educate enough nurses fast enough to teach them. And we also have a shortage in this nation, believe it or not, because some nurses are quitting. Now, why they'd rather quit and work someplace else for more money and give up weekends and holidays, beyond me. But I do know it's hard to be a nurse and to work in healthcare today. Because it's not just about nurses. No matter what member of the team you are, it's just as important. And I know it's hard. I know from my own 30-plus years at the bedside. I also know because I had the privilege of reading 2,000 stories for the first edition of Chicken Soup for the Nurse's Soul, 2,000 more for the second dose, which came out last year. I wrote Chicken Soup for the Caregiver's Soul, and as I read all of those 2,000 stories submitted for each book, I'm in awe of just how hard it is, and I know it's stressful. So what causes all this stress for us in healthcare today? Well, lots of things. One of the hugest things is trying to get everything done and not have enough resource and time to get it all done. Having huge assignments in our lives, personally and professionally, and feeling like we don't have the resources and the time we need to do it right, and wanting to do it right, giving 100%. Some days we give 110%, but it's like it's not enough. No matter what I do, it's never enough. Being torn between home and work and volunteerism. The stress of having too many bills to pay and not enough money to get them all paid. So if you have just one or two of those things I mentioned going on, we usually cope okay. But you get more than one or two, and not only are we not in eustress or stress, we get in distress. Are you ever in distress? How would I know, you ask? I've been this way so long. Well, there are some symptoms from having too much stress in our lives. Some physical, mental, and spiritual symptoms. Now, I'm not going to ask for a show of hands as I read this list, but I'll invite you to put a little mental check by any that might apply to you. So we have some of the causes. We have a list of the symptoms. So what do we do about it? Well, it's my absolute conviction that to be strong enough to cope with all that we have today, we have to be strong physically, mentally, and spiritually. And to be strong in these three ways, we have to nurture ourselves in these three ways every day. We can't just wait for weekends to catch up, to sleep in late, eat a big breakfast, and go to church. We need to take time every day, even if it's in 15-minute increments, to nurture our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. And another reason we need to do this is, as Bill said so wonderfully yesterday in his opening comments, I loved it when he said, we touch our clients, our patients. We touch them physically, mentally, and spiritually. And friends, we can't bring to them something that we don't have if our well is empty. So that's another reason we have to be strong and nurture ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. But as I travel this continent talking to people in healthcare, I'm more convinced than ever that we are so busy taking care of other people, we don't take such good care of ourselves. We need to ask for our juice so we can put our lives back in balance, and then we can bring this balance to the workplace. But would you agree we don't always do that? Not only do we not bring a balance, we bring an imbalance. And then we brag about it. Do you know I have worked here for 20 years and I never have taken a break? You've heard it. Another favorite is, I worked right through lunch again today. But here's the best one, especially we nurses. We are so proud of this. I didn't even stop to go to the bathroom. Like we are proud of this. So what are we teaching the new people? That we don't even care for ourselves well enough to empty our bladders promptly. And how do we orient the new people? When somebody new comes on board, do we share with them the glory, the good of what we do? Or too often do we share with them all that's hard, all that stinking thinking? When somebody new comes on board, do you tell them the privilege of working in healthcare, to be able to touch people's lives? You know, those young nurses have so much to learn from us old ones. And we old ones have so much to learn from the young. How are we going to help each other out, build each other up, help each other balance their lives? As I believe we can even help each other balance our lives at home. We have the power to do that. And you are so blessed to work for an organization that wants that for you. LeAnn, what we really want for our people is work-life balance. Wow. And part of finding this work-life balance, I believe, is, first of all, being healthy. You can make better decisions in your life about involvement in your work, in your volunteerism, in your home life, when you are grounded, when you are strong physically, mentally, and spiritually. Because you work for a wonderful organization who wants that for you. That's why they brought me here. You have no idea what they did to make sure I got here for you again today, because that's how much they care for you. So much that they want you to start to say, today I will care for me. And I brought 2,000 of these on the bookmark at the book table. Please pick one up so you can hear me nagging you even when I'm not around. To remind you to connect with your God every single day, even in 15-minute increments. And to ask for your juice. Nicely. To rest and sleep like you know your body needs. For every hand you have held, for every number you have crunched, for every candle you have lit, for every life you have touched. I thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because while you may think your part is small and ordinary, you are making an extraordinary difference in this world, because you, my friends, my colleagues, you are the heroes, and I applaud you. Thank you.